Hello everyone and welcome to the first game of week 3 of the PWL season. I'm your host Joe Adams.
And I'm John Smith. Today we have what's sure to be an interesting matchup. Let's meet this game's players. Starting with 5th round, 25th overall pick, Will Bennion for the Bethany Herons. He has had a subpar week 1 performance and had to have a free agent play in his place for week 2. He's looking to increase his total stats in today's game, Joe.
That's right, John. For the Hillsboro Highlanders is Chris Dyer, a top 10 player from week 1 that fell in the rankings due to a postponed game in week 2, expected to be played in week 5. Representing the Rose City Wreckers is Max Carlton, and for the Cedar Mill Shockwave, 6th ranked player Johnny Collier, the only top 10 player in this match.
Representing the Beaverton Ballers is Spencer Dominguez, coming off a hot week 2 game, and finally, 2nd rounder, 12th overall pick Ben Ryan, trying to right his ship after some disappointing performances so far.
Everyone is here, so they got something to prove. And with that, let's get to the game.
Looks like the game's starting. Spencer Dominguez to hit, and it hits off the center, and that gets Max Carlton out right there. It's not enough hustle.
Looks like we're off to a slow start in this game. The energy is not really there for the players, it seems, but maybe as we get more into the rounds, they'll get a little more hyped up and ready.
Ben Ryan at the top right of your screen in the gray shirt should be wearing a green shirt, or an orange shirt, excuse me.
That's right.
Serve one on him.
And Johnny Collier should be wearing a more blue shirt instead of a black shirt. So now the ball is live. Let's see what happens. Spencer Dominguez doing a little corner shot, and Will Bennion trying to get some more points from his week 1 performance, doing his old-fashioned retard move that we all know him for.
That literally does nothing at all, except for make you look stupid.
And Ben Ryan, a little unnecessary movement there as he kind of put himself into a bad position and was able to get back onto it. And it looks like everyone here is just playing some slow. And Ben Ryan gets himself out. Again, just poor positioning leads to him being unprepared for the hit. And there he goes and hits it right over the table.
He's out 4th. Into our 3-man game right here. Will Bennion to serve. And live ball now, Spencer Dominguez. Putting spin on that ball. Will Bennion able to save that just in time. Everyone's running all around the table. Looks like everyone's set up a little bit more.
Excellent hits and saves around the table right now. This is a really nice top 3 match.
Alright, let's see what will happen. Some spin on the ball right there, and right there to return, and then we got some more spin on the ball. Johnny Collier just hits it across the table, and that's what, and then again right there, a retarded move. Johnny hits it across the entire length of the table. Just some pretty basic gameplay so far. See who will mess up first or make a great hit to get someone out. The first mess up will be Johnny.
And Will Bennion does a great hit to get him out too. Just a great corner shot. He's been on fire this first match. It means our championship round will be between Spencer Dominguez of the Beaverton Ballers and Will Bennion of the Bethany Herons, with Bennion being the server for the match. It means he's at the disadvantage because he has the 3rd hit. But it looks like Spencer Dominguez is going to give him something pretty easy to hit on. So the ball is live, and let's see what the players choose to do with this. Already on the short side, and Will Bennion misses the ball, which means Spencer Dominguez of the Beaverton Ballers takes match 1 with 5 points.
Let's get a match 2 after this replay and discussion from the referee.
Our sponsor for today is JBG Real Estate, owned by Joseph Bertolt Greaves. He's the best real estate investors and realtors on the market.
I agree right there.
So moving into match 2, it looks like all these players are looking to increase their point total. Spencer Dominguez trying to get a 2nd win in a row would be really great for the Beaverton Ballers, who have up to this point been struggling, as well as Will Bennion of the Herons, also a struggling franchise, but both of them have been doing good thus far.
Max Carlton to receive this ball right here. Nice angled hit, saved by Ben Ryan. Will Bennion, normal hit. Spencer Dominguez tries to put a little bit of an angle on that ball, puts it right over the table, and gets himself out right there.
You notice that there's only been 5 players at the start. That's because the Hillsborough Highlanders representative, Chris Dyer, has actually missed so far these first 2 matches of the game, which are automatic 6th placements for his team, which means that and there he is right there just walking on the screen. He just arrived, and that's the consequence of being late to your game. That's 0 points across the first 2 matches for the Hillsborough Highlanders.
Chris Dyer in the gray shirt, right next to our referee, should be in a green shirt representing the Hillsborough Highlanders. He will make his first debut of the week in match 3. And Ben Ryan doesn't get enough right there, gets himself out.
Well, these are final 3. Returning is Will Benyon and Johnny Collier, and Max Carlton will make it in as well. But it looks like...
was that a serve? Must have been a serve.
Yeah, you're right. It must have been a serve. Ben Ryan is still in, so I think we're actually back to our final 4, which means we're going to find out who gets out. Good hit, really strong hit there from Will Benyon, but Johnny Collier is able to receive it. And Max Carlton goes for a strong hit, but it hits over the table, and he's out of here, which means our final 3 is, as we presumed last time, Johnny Collier and Will Benyon are returning, and Ben Ryan is making his first top 3 of the game.
Ben Ryan to serve. Will Benyon, live ball. Pretty standard 3 so far. Is hitting it across the length of the table. Almost over the length, but it still hits at the end. Again, another powerful hit. Another powerful hit. A little bit of a higher hit. And he'll try to spike with that higher hit. Send it right over the side of the table, getting himself out. Ben Ryan in 3rd.
Which means Will Benyon will be in his 2nd straight championship round as Johnny Collier makes his first time into the top 2 here. Johnny Collier attempts to take advantage of his free serves to get an unhittable receive and hits it right over the table. That's a serve 1 on Johnny Collier. We'll see what he does with his second one. Will Benyon gives him another really easy hit, but he's able to receive it. Wow, that was a great receive from Will Benyon, and he hits it over the table. Will Benyon has lost his 2nd championship round in a row. It's good points, but it could have been better.
Absolutely, and Johnny takes home the crown for his team right there in round 2.
So we're a third through the game now, and it looks like it's time to look at the player standings up to this point. Will Benyon of the Herons takes an early lead on the back of back-to-back 2nd place finishes, scoring 8 points thus far. Right beside him is the league's number 6 player, Johnny Collier of the Shockwave, who had a 3rd place and a match victory in match 2 to give him 8 points to tie for that 1st place position.
In 3rd is the baller Spencer Dominguez, who won match 1 but placed 5th in match 2 to take a decent 6 points so far. In 4th is the Gladiators Ben Ryan, trailing just behind him with 5 points.
In 5th is the Wreckers' Max Carlton, scoring 3 points off of a lackluster 5th and 4th place thus far. And of course, last place is the Highlanders' Chris Dyer, who has missed the first 2 matches and scored an automatic 0 points across those 2. Hillsborough is hoping he can make that up in the remaining 2/3 of this game.
Being a Highlanders fan must be tough right now. Just a player not showing up for his game right here, or even a teammate. Just automatic 0 points between 2 games. That's just... I wouldn't like that of my players.
Yeah, very disappointing. So we're going to be starting with the first match, the first round of match 6. Max Carlton does an illegal overhand serve, but Johnny Collier decides to hit on it anyway, as it was pretty hittable. And Will Benyon, we're seeing a little bit of a return of week 1 Benyon, as he just sails over the table on an easy hit and takes 6th place after back-to-back 2nd places.
Max Carlton to serve again right here. Let's get it on our way. All right, there we go. Johnny to receive, a little bit of a power hit. Chris Dyer with his first hit of the entire game in match 3. We have a spike right there, returned. Max Carlton just going to be a basic underhand hit. Again, Johnny basic underhand hit. Let's see what Chris Dyer doing, a side hit. We're just going across the length of the table in this 5s match. Nothing spectacular so far. Chris Dyer right there. Ben Ryan. Spencer Dominguez. Notable for always putting spin on the ball right there, and he did again. To no avail. Ben Ryan. See if Spencer can do anything right here. Some more spin on the ball. Max Carlton is able to receive, who puts it across the table. then we're just back to lengthwise. A little bit of an angle right there. Almost a body block right there, and almost a body block right there, but both players were able to get it on the table. Chris Dyer, Ben Ryan, Spencer Dominguez right here. No spin on the ball that time. Max Carlton, a little bit of a skimmer. Johnny with just a standard hit right there. And Mr. Ryan getting out, just missing the ball and kicking his paddle.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to see from the players. I mean, we saw that from last week. Simon Carrick throwing his paddle across the gym. Probably be a little nicer to things that you don't own. These are supplied by the teams. Anyway, that's another out right there that's Chris Dyer's first match thus far, and he takes a 4th place position, which means our top 3 is Johnny Collier and Spencer Dominguez coming back from his top 3 in match 1, and Max Carlton in the top 3 as well for the first time. Good hit there from Spencer Dominguez, but Max Carlton has a great receive to get it back on the table. Johnny Collier doing a regular receive hit.
Max with a little bit of a skimmer right there.
And Spencer Dominguez making really good corner shots right now.
Trying to swap the table direction. Just some standard 3s right now. Oh, that's a good hit right there, and he's able to receive that.
Johnny Collyer's running around the table. He's ready. Spencer Dominguez taking his time to get around, but looks like Johnny Collier didn't take advantage of that. Another great corner shot from Spencer Dominguez, which catches Max Carlton off guard as he sends it over the table, which means Johnny Collier is now in his 2nd straight top 2, and Spencer Dominguez is in his second top 2 in general.
Alright, let's see how we'll do in this championship game. Looks like we're going short side right now. Yep, definitely short side. Bit of a high ball, hits the center, and moves a little weird, but he's able to recover. Let's go on short side. Let's see who will put a more impressive shot in first to get the other person out, or mess up first. We have a good angle hit, still able to recover is Johnny. And Spencer tries to put it right on the corner right there, unable to, getting himself out for a Johnny victory.
And that's Johnny's 2nd straight first place. So that's great points for the Cedar Mill Shockwave. And this video has been brought to you by Albombos. If your city is replacing their Albertsons with Safeways, leave. It's not worth it living there anymore. Find a new place to live that has an Albertsons.
Yeah, my Albertsons left town, and I considered killing myself, but I ended up not doing that.
Yeah, as much as all of us probably would have rathered you'd had.
Alrighty, on to this next game. Already with some multiple very interesting hits right here. Max Carlton, what will he do? Just across the table. Will Benyon. Let's see if Spencer does some spin right here. Nope. Chris Dyer doing an angled hit. Ben Ryan just doing a straight up hit. And now Johnny sends it to the short side of the table. And it a lucky bounce right there for Will Benyon. Nothing too fancy on those last few hits. Still nothing fancy. Spencer Dominguez almost being on the wrong side of the table, was able to recover. And just some long side hits right now. Let's see if anyone can get some angles or some power hits in right here. Get this more interesting. Looks like an angle hit right there, still able to recover.
Some great spin from Spencer Dominguez thus far.
Looks like people are getting mixed up on their sides of the table right now, but it has not had any outcome so far, and Spencer Dominguez getting himself out.
Not a great showing for him right after coming 2nd place. It's a 6th place, so 0 points in addition to those 4 scored in match 3. But now there's 5 people, and everyone remaining will get at least 1 point. So at least there's that for them.
There is. At least there is that.
Moving around the table, Johnny Collier to serve. And the ball is live. Let's see what happens here. Some pretty regular hits from the players all around.
Max Carlton with a fast hit.
Max Carlton's really good with those underhand fast hits. He just got really good positioning there.
Ben Ryan right there to Johnny.
Everyone playing pretty conservatively here, but still sending it across the
Chris
table as
right
people are
there
moving
into
around.
Ben, and Ben will mess up right there, taking himself out. 5th place finish for him. Alright, now let's get into this duos match right here. Looks like we have some confusion on the order right now. Our referee is slacking off over there. Johnny to serve. And then we got Max right there, Will, and then Chris right there. Just some standard duos game right now all the way across. And now it'll be a trio game after Max Carlton sends it right over the entire table.
Highlanders fans are sure happy that Chris Dyer has made a top 3 now after missing games 1 and 2, but Johnny Collier and Will Benyon are some pretty familiar faces here. And Will Benyon gets a serve 1, which means we'll be resetting the game. And there it is. Will Benyon gets a nice hit, and Chris Dyer is not able to receive that, which means we'll have another Will Benyon and Johnny Collier rematch here from the championship round of match 2.
Alright, let's get into this championship game right here. We got a live ball now, anyone's game right here. Just some fast-paced game right here. Fast balls across and powerful hits across and length of the table. So it looks like will be who will mess up first instead of who will put a good hit on the ball. It looks like we have a
great
real
hit there
spike
from
right
Will
there.
Benyon.
Still able to
And
cover
wow,
another spike.
what a spike there from Will Benyon. Let's look at that from another angle. Johnny's lucky to get that one. He just sends it across. There's nothing he could do. That's a in 3 championship rounds. That's Will Benyon's first match win. And at the end of match 4, and 2/3 of the way through this game, Cedar Mill jumps into first as Johnny Collier won a second match straight in match 3 and placed second in match 4 to score a great 17 points thus far. That means the Herons' Will Benyon has dropped a spot to 2nd place after a 6th place finish in match 3, but was offset by a match victory in match 4. He's got 13 points currently.
Spencer Dominguez remains in 3rd, carried by a 2nd place finish in match 3, but at last place finish in match 4 is not a good omen for things to come. Max Carlton of the Records jumps up to 4th place after a 3rd and a 4th place finish, reaching 8 points.
Ben Ryan of the Gladiators falls to 5th place after back-to-back 5th place finishes in matches 3 and 4, boosting his score only to 7 points. And last is the Highlanders' Chris Dyer scoring 5 points over matches 3 and 4. Can he place high enough over the last 2 matches to claim a higher spot?
It looks like we're on this game right here. If we go back to last game, I really think Benyon was in control that entire championship game. It looked like.
It looks like Spencer Dominguez just got his 2nd straight first round exit. So after a promising first half, he's really starting to kind of choke here a little bit later in the game. Which means now we're down to 5 players: Will Benyon, Chris Dyer, Max Carlton, Johnny Collier, and Ben Ryan. And serving would be Spencer Dominguez, but now there's a new king, which it seems like it's Chris Dyer, but all the players are kind of waiting on referee Jack Fairhurst to get his players together.
I guess we have a bad referee in this game, not knowing exactly what he's doing at all on his own. And then I don't know who that serve will get called on.
I think that's a bad serve on Chris Dyer. Didn't make the full length of the table. And now we are balls live. Players are going Ben Ryan and thinking doing that is not going to get him a body block call, but luckily Will Benyon was able to hit the ball on. Another strong hit there from Max Carlton, which catches Will Benyon off guard as he takes a 5th place finish here. Just sends it underneath the table. Not enough height on that as we go into our final 4.
Into this doubles match, we still have our same king, Chris Dyer, to serve once our referee gathers himself and figures out what he's doing instead of being an idiot. Man, this ref is really stupid. This is a lot of unnecessary delay in the game. I think we need to get a new ref in here right now.
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea what's going on right now. I mean, the scorekeeper's doing his job just fine, but the referee is just sitting back, watching the players just talk, and all right, it looks like we're finally starting this next round.
All right, we got a live ball right there already going angle right here. And it looks like, oh, what a save right there by Dyer of the Highlanders. Max Carlton put him back on the table right there. Ben Ryan, Johnny Collier. Nothing too spectacular since that save just a couple hits ago. I'm just going lengthwise of the table. Nothing, no one going anywhere fun. Just, all right, there we go. We got some angle flipping. More. Oh wow, bunch of angled hits right there, but no one gets out due to them. And it looks like Chris Dyer of the Highlanders will take himself out in 4th, and we'll go into this top 3 matchup.
In this top 3, we have returning Johnny Collier making his 4th top 3, or really his 5th top 3 in a row. He hasn't been outside the top 3 at all the entire game. Max Carlton is making his 2nd top 3 of the game, and Ben Ryan is here for the first time since match 2. All of them are looking to increase their point totals as the game starts to wind to an end. Johnny Collier and everyone else just making some pretty basic hits. Max Carlton gets a skimmer, but still really high hits here from everybody. Ben Ryan, pretty lucky that hit the corner of the table. Everyone's just doing really long hits here. Ben Ryan getting that hit across the table. Johnny Collier to receive. Another skimmer there from Max Carlton.
Barely hits the table right there.
And that's an elimination for Ben Ryan as Johnny Collier gets out for 3rd place, which is tied as his worst performance all game, which means the championship round will be Max Carlton and Ben Ryan. Neither of these players have been in the top 2 before, so this is an entirely new championship round.
And again, our referee not doing his job, but not too much because it's a championship game. Alright, just some standard hits. Nothing too powerful. We can go angle as Ben Ryan just did. And Max Carlton returns. Barely hits the table right there, a little bit of luck. And does not hit the top of the table. Hits the side, and getting himself out is Max Carlton.
And that's a 5er for the Aloha Gladiators as Ben Ryan wins match 5. A great performance as he goes to the table to do a little bit of flexing there. And someone who likes to flex in the housing department is the city of Oster's. They got a great housing office there, and they're compared to Misty Meadows pretty often. I'm not sure which I prefer, but the Thunder City is a great place to live.
Yeah, pretty cool there.
So we'll be starting the final match of the game. All these players back in one last time for what is now single elimination to try and score as many points as they can before this game ends.
And it looks like our scorekeeper has been promoted to scorekeeper and referee. I guess a referee got fired mid-game for really just being a terrible referee. And we got a live ball right here, Spencer Dominguez. Max Carlton right there, putting a little bit of float on the ball. Which way will that go? Alright, just going short side of the table. Alright, oh, almost body block right. That might be called as a body block. Let's see what the ref will call. But he was not paying attention. He's too busy looking down on his paper. And they'll call him out.
Yep, the referee, Jack Fairhurst, is still playing. We should make a note. The scorekeeper was not actually promoted. He was just taking control for that one match. But the body block was not called because Spencer Dominguez was able to hit the ball. Johnny Collier didn't seem to have any visible interference with his ability to hit the ball, which means Spencer Dominguez has 3 straight last place finishes. And did we just see that clearly? Just Johnny Collier, who hasn't been outside the top 3 this whole game, just got out in 5th place. That's a big surprise there from him.
That'll hurt his total score right there. I mean, another top 3, he would have been, what, 24-point territory right there. He's going to end his game at 21. Still a spectacular game for Johnny Collier. Going in this top 4 matchup right here. Chris Dyer saying the order as a referee can't do his job. And we'll have a serve by Ben Ryan. Let's see who's receiving. Will Benning right there. Max Carlton. Chris Dyer right there. Getting himself out right there. Trying to go a little bit of skim ball right there. To no avail.
Not a good day for the Hillsborough Highlanders, that's for sure. Which means now we have our final 3. Will Bennion being his 4th time in the final 3. Ben Ryan, this is his 3rd time. And Max Carlton also his third time. Ben Ryan's looking for a second straight win.
We have serve 1 on Will Bennion right there, trying to get a little bit of power in there with his serves. Let's see what he's going to do on his serve 2. It looks like his original plan worked out.
And Will Bennion almost Fergie special, but there wasn't enough power from Ben Ryan's hit to get him out here. And all the players are rushing around trying to get a good hit. And Max Carlton sends it over the table, and that will be his third place of the game, which means we'll be heading to the final round of the last match between Will Bennion, his fourth time in the championship round, and Ben Ryan, where this will be his second time in a row.
Looks like we have a little bit of a timeout right here for a shoot time. Let's get this game on way. Serve, good. Receive, good. And now the championship match is on its way. Just some power hits right here. Nothing spectacular. This is pretty standard play in the top 2. Just a ton of power right here. And it looks like
Will Bennion's out. And did he just break his paddle? Let's take a look at the replay here. Sends it over the table. Let's take a look at Bennion. Yup, and he just broke his paddle. Game's over. He is very mad about that one as Ben Ryan comes over to gloat a little bit, saying that he's the one as he wins 2 straight. Great performance right here in the late game. Clutch performance from Ben Ryan. But here we are at the conclusion of the game, so let's take a look at the final standings.
And last is Chris Dyer of the Highlanders, who after back-to-back fourth-place finishes in matches 4 and 6, scored a total of 9 points, just 1 point behind 5th place. He was obviously held back by missing the first 2 matches, as he realistically could have gotten as good as 4th place, even with his performance in matches 3 to 6. Just a reminder to never be late to your games if you're a player.
That's an extremely crucial point you made there, John. In 5th place is Spencer Dominguez, who fell 2 places from 3rd to 5th after 3 straight 6th place finishes. He had a promising start, but ran out of juice as he scored 10 points for Beaverton.
In 4th is Max Carlton, who had a great end game with a 2nd and 3rd place finish across match 5 and 6, but it wasn't enough to boost him in the standings. Overall, he brings home a respectable 15 points for the Rose City.
In 3rd is the Gladiators' Ben Ryan, who after going on a miracle run where he won back-to-back matches in matches 5 and 6, moves from 5th to 3rd with 17 points on 3 eliminations and 1 regicide. What a great turnaround for the Gladiators.
And 2nd is Will Bennion, scoring a much-needed 18 points for the struggling Bethany Herons, across what may be the best statistical showing of the game with 8 KOs and 2 regicides. The Herons are glad to have another playmaker to complement Ben Ryan Ben Clement in their future games.
The winner of Game 1, however, is 6th-ranked player Johnny Collier, who had a bit of a slowdown in matches 5 and 6, but the lead was too great to overcome, and he remains in first with 21 points across 7 eliminations and 4 regicides. The Cedar Mill Shockwave are the winners of Game 1.
Thanks for watching, everyone. That's it from the booth, and we'll catch you next time for Game 2. Ball.